Hey guys, Chris here. So right behind me we have the 2019 Mercedes-Benz A200 AMG line. This is the new Mercedes A-class and I'm very excited to pick this up. And in today's video, I'm going to give you guys my first impressions video of this car. Before we, take this car for its first test drive, let's check out the exterior styling, just quickly. I will have a whole separate video on the exterior and on the interior. I will have this car for the next week, so I'll give you guys, my typical full in-depth videos. So this is the AMG line, giving it the AMG line front bumper and front grille, and this also has these optional 19-inch wheels on winter tires, and these are, of course, Nokian Hakkapeliitta are winter tires, studless winter tires, and I think these wheels just look amazing on this small compact car. Finishing off the rear end, it has dual exhausts which are really nicely integrated, and you also have this diffuser A200 badging there. I think this looks really nice, and let's take a step inside. Just check out the interior. This color is called Polar White. It's a flat white color, looks very nice. So this has, having the AMG line, we have these red accents here on this Alcantara door insert. I'm just gonna, kick my feet clean of snow because it is really snowy and cold outside. So you have this AMG sports steering wheel, you have these AMG sports seats, and you also have these really cool digital gauge clusters, the multimedia screen here, MBUX 10.25 inch are each of these screens. And yeah, this interior just looks really cool and feels very solid. This also has the Burmeister. I'm just gonna turn the fan down a bit. The Burmeister premium sound system. So I'm really excited to, test this car out for the next week and the tech. And I'll see you guys on the road after I've driven this car for a small while. Okay, so the engine was already running when I started this video because I've had to, move the car around here to and there to get a, find a spot to shoot and film and take pictures, and also keep the engine running because it is very cold outside, actually plus 1.5 degrees, so it's much warmer than it's been, but still really cold. So let's just start off quickly with a few stats before we set off here for the first time. It will be the first time driving it properly. I've just moved around here on some parking lots. This is an A200 AMG line referring to the trim line and the exterior styling package, setting this below something like a proper AMG looks wise. This has a 1.3 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder motor with 163 horsepower, which I'm really excited to test. It's also connected to a 7-speed DCT dual clutch, transmission, and you also have the shifter here on the stock, just like you do in a Rolls-Royce or other Mercedes features. I have driven too many modern Mercedeses, at least not, the newest generation of this infotainment, this interior design language, and this exterior design language. So let us switch gear is a bit, new to me, so I'm not used to all the controls. And this has, a manually adjustable seat, also steering wheel, but also this beautiful AMG steering wheel. And just refinement of the line. This feels very quiet, very hushed. It feels very nice. This engine does feel very refined, and also the suspension is nicely sprung. I don't think this has any adaptive dampers, though we have some dry modes down here. I don't think it really does anything to, no, it says here engine, steering, and ESP. And also when you go into comfort, it also says engine, steering, and ESP. So you don't have any adaptive dampers. And this being on 19-inch wheels, that is very impressive because this feels taut. It is a light vehicle, but it also feels very comfortable. And yeah, that is, just my immediate first impressions. The steering is light. We are now heading right into Friday rush hour traffic out of Oslo. So I think I'll pick this up just a bit later when I, enter also my destination into the navigation. Making our way out of Oslo in rush hour traffic, sitting in this bumper to bumper traffic. Gives us a real nice opportunity, you know, to test out this dual clutch transmission, this 7-speed DCT transmission, because it's in environments like this, especially, you know, sitting in bumper to bumper traffic where you stop, you accelerate from a standstill, and then you need a quick burst of acceleration, and you go on a brake, that these transmissions really do fall apart. And our Audi A6, our Audi A4 rather, has a 1.4 liter. This guy isn't letting me in. Idiot in a Tesla. Our Audi A4, I apologize that, guys. Our Audi A4 has a 7-speed dual clutch transmission, made it to a 1.4 liter gas engine with 150 horsepower. So very similar drivetrain to this, but that is just so damn slow to engage off the line. It just builds revs and then the clutch catches. It's just a nightmare to use in traffic, and it's slow between shifts. You have to kick it into sport mode. This isn't like that at all. This is just no issues at all from a standstill. You have some rev building, but you don't have any, you know, you don't have any transmission slowness issues, any transmission response issues. It's just quick to respond, quick to, you know, just give you acceleration when you're asking for it. Just quickly downshifts there, just went down a gear. It's just very nice to use, and I have no complaints whatsoever. You get on the gas and then you have immediate response, which is the way it should be done. So kudos to Mercedes. This transmission is very, very nice. We've now cleared Oslo traffic and we're out on the open motorway. We still, you know, have a lot of cars because it is, well, it is Friday and people are going home from work, traveling out to their cabins for the weekend, and just, you know, just traveling out of the city. But this car at motorway speeds 100, 110, 20, 30 kilometers an hour, it feels very stable, and it is relatively quiet for being this class of car. And it just feels very stable. It feels very comfortable. This suspension, I think this has a sport suspension, being the AMG line. It might not, but it has 19-inch wheels at least, so it doesn't have much rubber. But it feels very composed, very compliant on the motorway. You have enough travel. That's why I don't think it has some. I don't actually think it has sport suspension. But it is a very nice motorway cruiser. Though this class of vehicle will always have, you know, more road and wind noise than if you go to, you know, the class above. And out on the motorway, this 4-cylinder engine has actually enough power to feel peppy. In the city at lower speeds, it actually feels relatively quick, but out here on the open motorway, you know, 120 kilometers an hour, and then putting your foot to the floor, it does pick up speed, but not super rapidly. But as you can hear there, if it's hanging the revs, it does get drony and a bit noisy at high RPM, and you do get, you know, a bit harshness and vibration in the cabin. Though it's worse in sport mode actually. Don't know if there's a valve in the exhaust just making it a bit louder. It feels nice and free revving this engine. It feels peppy combined with this transmission. It feels quick, you know, on its toes, but it does get a bit revvy and a bit noisy when you know, rev it out a bit. Where this car really excels, where it really comes into its own, is on, you know, twisty roads, B roads, and back roads. I've had the chance to just drive it a little on those type of roads, and it just feels very sporty, very positive. It's very stable. It has very quick steering with very nice feedback. The suspension, you know, is sharp and taut yet comfortable, and the whole chassis just feels so rigid. So that's why it feels sporty and darty, but still remains, you know, very comfortable. And I'm genuinely really impressed by this car and the way it drives. Lastly, guys, I want to talk about this interior. So this is Mercedes' latest design language, both interior and exterior, and it also has the newest version of MBUX. So this screen up here, the infotainment system, you can control it via this touchpad down here, which I really do like the way it works. You can control it via the steering wheel controls here on the right side, but it is also a touchscreen, which is just amazing. It's just very intuitive and very easy to use. This is one of my favorite infotainment systems at the moment, and it also has this beautiful digital gauge cluster up front, and it's so clear and so beautiful. It almost looks Rolls-Royce like in the gauges. It's that nice. The rest of the interior just looks very cool. You feel special in here, though it is, it's a bit simple, but they've, touched it up, made it look nice where it really matters. So it feels high quality and just, it just looks very pleasing aesthetically. And these really cool AMG seats, I do love them. And this beautiful AMG steering wheel is very nice. And then we have the exterior styling. I think this is the best looking small hatch on the market today. It looks from the front like a Mercedes CLS, which is high praise. So yeah, I am genuinely impressed by this car. I didn't have the highest expectations, getting into it, but I am genuinely impressed, and I can't wait to, for the rest of my week with this car, let all, the first impressions sink in, and give you guys, my proper verdict at the end of the week. But first impressions is that I think this now is the best car in this class. So guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please drop me a thumbs up down below, and for more car content, as always guys, please subscribe. See you guys later, and goodbye.